Hi, I'm Szot with Esper, Chief Evangelist, and today I'm here with
John Dittig, Vice President of Business Development Partnerships with MicroTouch.
We're going to dive into a very interesting subject that goes to a part of the heart of our partnership together, which is the subject of kiosks. Now, kiosk to me is one of the most overloaded terms in the industry. Like, what is a kiosk? It is a mode in software. It is a form factor. It is a use case. But undoubtedly, kiosks have taken off in the industry today.
Without a doubt. So if you look at kiosk, if you go to Asia, you go to Europe, kiosks are a lot more prevalent overseas than they are in the U.S., but it's coming. And if you look at the United States, you've got about 60 million people of the baby boom generation that is getting ready to retire. The only way to replace them is with technology and with self-service. And so the kiosk business over the next 5 years is going to grow dramatically everywhere, whether it's retail, whether it's QSR, C-store, all the key verticals out there, you're going to see massive growth in self-service.
Yeah, and I think demographics drive it too, with the digitization that the younger set is very, very used to. And so for them, it's a native mode to engage and transact. And it also introduces AI to the picture. And we'll get into that a little bit later. But a lot of changes that are coming that are really driving the kiosk market that will benefit consumers, will benefit our customers. And I think we're going to come out with some great solutions to build on top of what we have today.
Just to kind of give you an example of some of the verticals that are out there. If you look at food and beverage, whenever you order a sandwich on a kiosk, the basket size typically goes up by about 17%. So self-service accuracy is a lot better on a kiosk. Not only that, but in the food and beverage industry, it's a lot more efficient. Because you look at places like, a lot of states, it is very pricey to hire a lot of employees on the front line. And so you can have a full self-service kiosk under $4,000. And the human capital that's actually in the stores can be doing other things, back of the house sandwiches, back of the house inventory. And so it makes these companies a lot more productive.
Yeah, operational efficiency that ties to being able to implement consistency of experience through the technology and let the humans focus on best of breed, if you will, for the type of operations that a kiosk can handle. And I look at it as trying to optimize and create the best customer experience that you can.
Digital transformation. Digital transformation is everywhere. And when you look at things like AI, it's going to make things quicker, better, faster, whether it's the payments, whether it's the point of sale, all the chips that we get from MediaTek on Android that run Esper from
MediaTek all out there.
Yes, that run with Esper from an MDM perspective. So you could have multiple devices across the world and look up, change content, calorie count, pricing. We're only at the beginning, really the infancy of what we're going to see over the next 5 years. The other thing I'd like to say is that if you look at the Generation Z, 80% of people in Generation Z would rather interact with a kiosk than a person.
Which is kind of scary in its own way, but we'll just roll with it.
For guys like us in the 80s, right?
Yes. Yeah. Well, let's talk about touchscreen technology itself. MicroTouch is known as a leader in display technology. How does the screen experience play into creating a great kiosk experience?
It's a great question. So if you look at kiosk as a whole, one of the things that we do on our screens, and not many people do, is we do anti-glare. Mm-hmm. And what that means, if you're in an environment like this and you've got all this light, there's no glare that's coming off the screen. If you ever use a credit card reader or a screen that has glare, in a lot of cases, it'll kind of blind you, right? Mm-hmm. Where the anti-glare just literally there's no glare whatsoever. The other thing is our units are optically bonded. And so there's like an extra seal on there. And so with people poking, prodding at them, our units are going to last a lot longer, right? Mm-hmm. And they're bezel to bezel. The other value add, as I mentioned earlier, is we have USB-C ports on all four sides. So if someone wants to have a kiosk in landscape mode, they can do that. You can add a scanner, you can add a credit card reader, you can add the other peripherals, you can add ADA, or you can turn it around and put it in portraits mode, and you could do it the same way because the ports on the side make it so much more accessible for those peripherals.
So it goes back to what I introed with, which is from your perspective, a kiosk could be whatever the end use case you want, and you provide the base hardware smartly designed that can fit into whatever deployment mode the customer is looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. We try to take like a vanilla approach, knowing that every end user is different. And so every end user is going to have a different application, different size. So we try to have a very robust portfolio that has all these different products and give them the choice. We also have a lot of kiosk providers that can actually build customization. So if a brand wants to have their own logo on the unit, we can do that. If they want a particular color, they can do that, right? So by having that flexibility, it kind of separates us from a lot of competition out there.
Now let's talk a minute about what you see as the future of front of house technology. Where, from what you see, talking to the industry, customers, partners, where do you see it going?
It's interesting. I think kiosk, as I mentioned earlier, with the baby boom generation retiring, is only going to get a lot bigger. I think mobility is going to get a lot bigger. And then you're going to see a lot of spend for a lot of the brands around to go, right? So theft is a big issue with a lot of these brands, right? Yes. So getting more secure orders, whether it's mobile or you go in, you order as a kiosk, and then having like lockers and things of that nature on the front of the house, that's actually just code driven. And then the code is sent to you, and it's very seamless for the brand. The brand saves a lot of money. They don't have to worry about that. It's a lot more secure. So I think better, quicker, faster delivery times is everything's just going to be a lot more expeditious.
And these things have screens. What do you know?
Yeah.
And OSs.
Absolutely.
The future is so bright, you got to wear kiosks.
Yes, absolutely. Are we in Switzerland, by the way, with this background here?
I brought my skis right over there.
Switzerland, yes.
We'll get on it pretty soon.
Yeah.